All right. Well, we have Maul. I'm so happy to see a Maul coming back. It is Disco Maul, a 2 mana, 2 attack, 2 durability weapon. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +1/+1, and play minions well equipped to improve. This is so cool. I loved the Maul from the past that had the different effects. This one, not quite the same, but I'm giving this a 3. I think it's cheap, so you can get this out, play some other minions. You do have to play them and not just summon them, so this isn't gonna work with like muster for battle summoning things, and like it won't improve it, right? You have to play them. Um, but then you can get some stats. And I think even in some cases, some of the other weapons, you want a bit more value out of it. But I think this is one where I can definitely see this still being fine, even if you get like +2/+2 of stats, right? You'd get plus, if you play 2 minions, you'd get +3/+3 to a minion. There's a lot of divine shields, especially. There's some lifesteal, there's some rush. Like, I think this is just pretty solid. I'm giving it a 3.
Okay, I don't know if this is a hot take. It might be. I'm giving this a 5, almost a 6. I think this card
Wow.
is omega broken. Like, you can just play this early in the game. Obviously, in like a tempo deck, you just play like a minion for a couple turns. You get like 3/3 buff. That's already really good. But like, you play this on 2 and you just play the game. Like, you don't change anything. Just don't use the last swing and then use it on like an impactful minion. What if you've played just like, I don't know, you just played the game and then you drop Zilliax and then you swing and then your Zilliax is like 8 attack all of a sudden. Like, this just seems absurdly good in like every Paladin deck that would exist. Like, I don't understand. This card's just nutty. I go to a 5.
I gave it a 4, and I thought maybe I was like overrating it a little bit. I'm glad to at least think that I wasn't overrating it, because I do think this is really strong, and you can just equip it and chill for a while until you've played enough minions, which you really, really want to do as Paladin. Like, you're always playing minions, and then you wait until you have like the isolated perfect minion to buff. And I think if there's any card that enables Freebird to exist in the set, it might be this. We could see the like lethal setup from Paladins just running a Freebird, and you
What?
just keep. That's the
What's
charge minion. That's
Freebird?
the only charge minion in the set.
What is it?
It's a
The
neutral. It's
neutral,
a
yeah.
4 mana 2/2 beast that has charge.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
As the only relevant text is it has charge.
See, I see. Yeah. Charge goes face. Bam. Get him.
And
Get
Paladin has
'em.
0 cards accessible with charge except for the neutral Freebird. It also, gets bigger the more Freebirds you play, which doesn't matter. It's just you're like, okay, I can do all these other things. I can maybe even play like a control game and just set up that as a burst finisher. But this card, super strong.
It's also like anti-Viper. They try to Viper you, they have to clear your whole board first. Like, it's just nutty.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to giving this a 5 also. I thought I was gonna be the only one, honestly, but apparently I'm glad we're all on the same page here. Yeah, I think this is I'm gonna give it a 5, maybe.
Yes, do it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm with you. I think that they have enough early. Paladin has enough early game minions and enough good ones to just like have this, and you can hold it if you want to. And I think it's flexible and it's good, so I'm gonna give it a 5.
You talked me into it.
Dang.
I'll go 5.
Yes.
How did I rate this the lowest?
I know. You're
Okay.
like, the Maul. I'm giving it a
Because
3. I was like, oh,
That's
just
what
you wait.
normally
Okay,
happens.
all
a lot
right,
of
all
times
right, all
with your
right.
favorite
Yep.
class, right?
It's a 4.
You
It's
gotta
a
underrate
4.
your favorite class sometimes.
Well, I think the Paladin cards might be my most like varied ratings between these cards. So this is going to be real interesting. All right, let's go to the next one. We have Spotlight. It's a 2 mana holy spell with tradable and converts a friendly divine shield into a 5/5 elemental. Oh, this is my 5. Holy crap, I love this card so much. The fact that it's tradable, so good. So if you don't need it, fine. There is now the ability, we'll talk about that one in a little bit, to give your hero a divine shield. So you can do that. You can target where this is, which I think is amazing. So it's not just like remove a random divine shield. You get to pick which divine shield is getting removed. That's nutty. This card's just so good.
This card is irresponsible. I give it a 6. This is insane. Like, we just got out of, or not even just got out of, we have like 9 days left or something in a meta that is largely dominated by priests playing a 2-mana 5/5, and they have to also silence it for it to stick around. This always sticks around. What does Paladin like doing? Playing 1-mana Divine Shield minions, which they have a lot of that aren't rotating? Oh my god. Just, oh my god. Like, I'm terrified by this card. I think Paladin got a nutty set, and this card's going to break the meta.
Yeah, that's fair. This card on 2 is just absurd. Especially, like,
And it's
you don't
even
really
a tradable.
And you can
yeah.
run 2
Like,
of them.
even if it's,
Yeah, it's never dead. Yeah.
in the
Why is it
times that it's
tradable?
not good for you, just like, okay, fine, I'll use it to draw a card. Like, holy, oh my god.
I mean, I think this card has got like very creating a lot of non-game scenarios. Like you just play a 1 mana, then
Yeah.
2 you just crit a 5/5. There goes game.
You play your 1-mana 1/1 Divine Shield, and your opponent sure as hell better have a way to knock off that Divine Shield in order to remove this. And that might also play right into your hands if you're on coin or something, and then you coin out the +3/+3, give it a Divine Shield again.
I'm gonna give it a 5 instead of a 6 because I think it's situational and like sometimes they might bump the shield and then this is unplayable and you're really sad.
I'd probably also give it a 5, if not a 6, if not for the fact that I see multiple other Divine Shield support cards being printed in this set.
Yeah. I don't know if they're that good, but oh, wait a second.
Oh, yeah.
You can use it on the hero? Hey, hold up.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I won't 6 it, but it's close.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 5.
I mean, we'll talk about another one that I kind of also feel like is borderline 6 and like a couple cards, and you can use this with that, you know. And doesn't it refresh the device? Oh my god.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. It sure does.
Yeah.
Rubber raggy.
Yeah. So
Paladin
all right.
haters in shambles.
Let's go to the next one.
Noodle in the comments is just living a dream right now.
Yeah, I'll be right back. You cool.
All right. We've got Boogie Down, a 3-mana holy spell. Summon 2 1-cost minions from your deck. Finale, give them taunt. All right. Based on some other comments I've seen so far, I might be hating on this one, but I hate this card. I gave it a 1. I just do not. I don't like this.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It's like maybe I could give it a 2, but like I don't like this one. Like,
I mean,
why am I paying 3 mana for these 2 things? I guess you're pulling them out of the deck, but like, do we really care about giving them taunt as well? Like, I don't know.
I like it because it also is potential fodder for like a curve disco Maul or something too. There's just so many different things that you can do. Boogie Down might be the thing that you need to pull one of your 1-mana Divine Shields in order to activate the Spotlight on like turn 5 or something. Like, I really like this card in general. I don't know if it's like mega powerful, but you know, I think I go 3 on this.
I think it's very comparable to like whatever that 4-mana spell they had to nerf, the one that summoned minions from your deck. Those 2 or less.
Yeah, but
I think
it's way weaker than that.
Yeah, but it's also less mana, right? So
Right.
so it's just like a mini version of it, and I think a paladin deck that's going to be an aggro, and when most of your things are probably going to have divine shield, and you have divine shield.
What is funny is there's not a single paladin minion printed in this set that costs 1 for actual synergy with this card. It's just things that already exist.
Okay, all right. Noodle in chat is bringing up sous chef as well. Like, that's good. I guess I just always picture like, well, you don't want to pull out minions with battle cries and stuff, so like you have to
Well, you want
build
to
a
summon
deck.
Sanguine Soldier. The battle
Yeah,
cry
that
hurts
battle
you.
cry. Yeah.
Build synergies. And
Well,
you don't really
sure.
by turn 3 or
Yeah.
4. Yeah, but they're all like all the minions you're trying to summon are just like 1/1 divine shield to 2/1 divine shields and or whatever, and then you don't want to draw those cards by the time you're at 3 or.
I was borderline 4 on this, but I settled on a 3.
All right. Okay,
Mhm.
I'll put
Wait,
it
really?
up to a 2. All right, I'll put it at
Oh,
a 2.
okay, there we go.
All right, I'll put it
I
to
was
a
like,
2.
hold up.
I'm gonna.
I think this card sucks.
Well, the 1-mana cards that you want to play usually have Divine Shield, which means that you can play this. Like, I don't care about the finale. I care about playing this on turn 5 to summon one of the Divine Shield minions that I haven't been able to summon yet, and then playing Spotlight on it and summoning a 5/5.
Okay, that's valid.
Among
I'll
other
give-
things.
I'll give
But
it a
just
3,
like
whatever.
Boogie Down thins the deck. It gives you survivability. A lot of those 1-cost minions are probably going to have Divine Shield, so the ones that don't have Taunt, you give them Taunt, and that's really annoying.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those cards that like its value comes with what it's doing in the deck to help the rest of the deck succeed and not itself, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like it's an ideal card to call key support because it's not like that powerful on its own, but it supports a lot of things.
I can see it. Better than I thought. Definitely good synergy with the 2-mana card.
But the 2-mana card's a 6, so it
Yeah.
synergizes well with like everything because it's stupid broken.
Yeah. All right.
It's gonna synergize with the next card, or the next card, or the next card.
Yeah. So let's go to the next one. Funk Fin. It's a 3-mana 2/2 Divine Shield. Your minions with Divine Shield have +2 attack. I mean, I love this card. Also, like, just this Murloc in this great outfit.
It looks amazing.
Disco dancing is just fantastic. It's great. But also it's got the Divine Shields. You have potential added attack. It does specify your minions with Divine Shield though, so it does not work with the legendary spell that we're gonna talk about that gives you hero Divine Shield. Because we have to think about that now, like this
It'd be a little messed
word
up.
specifying.
I feel
Yeah,
like that would be a cool interaction.
that would be
like
cool.
I would have liked to see it to your characters. I think it would have made it a lot more
Yeah,
interesting.
I think so too. But I still think this is a solid card. I'm giving it a 4.
Its text makes itself a 4/2 when it gets played, right? Because it counts itself as long as
Right.
it has
Yep.
Divine Shield active. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give it a 4.
Really, I'm like
Wow.
1
I'm
and
like
not moving it to a 2.
I'm like almost like giving it a 2.
I think it's a 1. Wait, why
Yeah,
is
I
this
think it's
good? I'm
pretty bad.
confused. It's a 3-mana fortress with Divine Shield that like buffs like a few minions in your deck, and like that's not
when, like,
good.
We
like
have a
part of
ton
when-
of Divine Shield synergy just like throughout. The fact that this has Divine Shield means it has more redundancy to work with Spotlight. It works really well with Boogie Down, the card that we just talked about, that could also summon Divine Shield minions from your deck, and then those things have buff. In a couple of cards, we're going to talk about another thing that refreshes Divine Shield. So now you're getting things with Divine Shield that refresh Divine Shield that then have more attack. There's a card that we're going to talk about last that has multiple Divine Shields. So this weaponizes those cards. Like all of it just works really well together. Maybe it's more key support than actually. Yeah, it's probably a 3 instead of a 4. Now that I think about it, because it supports those things rather than being like super strong on its own. But I think this card's really good.
Wait, what's the card that refreshes Divine Shields? I don't see that.
Yeah, I'm looking for that one.
Oh, shit! I misread it. Okay, that card's worse than I thought it was. It's a card draw. It's not a refresh.
Oh,
Yeah.
after yeah, that one. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a believer in the Funk Fin. I think we can make a good deck without this card in it. I think it's not great. I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah, I
But
think
can
that the fact
see the reasons.
I think
I'll stick with a
like
3.
I'm gonna give it a 2 just because I think that like the whole like the biggest thing we're doing in deck a lot of times is removing divine shields and all about removing the divine shields to draw cards and get 5/5s and all that stuff. It just makes this card a lot worse probably. So I'm gonna give it 2.
That's a good argument. It does have negative synergy with the other things that you have some payoffs for.
Let's go on to the next one here. We have Starlight Groove. This is the legendary spell. It's a 3 mana holy spell. Give your hero Divine Shield. For the rest of the game, playing a holy spell refreshes it. So, yes, that spell that we talked about earlier, Spotlight, it would, if you targeted your hero, you could remove the Divine Shield, and then you played a holy spell, so then it would refresh the Divine Shield. So you'd get a 5/5 for that Divine Shield, and then refresh it. So pretty good synergy. Gives you a reason to play some holy spells again. But the effect is permanent for the rest of the game. So you only have to play this once, and you could potentially keep getting the holy spell or the Divine Shields. I think this is super, super cool. I'm really hyped for this one, and just giving your hero Divine Shield. I think I'm rating this as a 4, but because I think it is a huge support and like basically makes the deck that you want to do Divine Shields and all this stuff. But I don't know. What do y'all think?
Yeah, this
It's like
card is
budget
nuts.
carry-all.
I'm giving this a 5. It's crazy. I was almost on a 6 for this one. I just like the disgusting Spotlight Groove synergy, and there's just so many ways that this is so incredibly helpful for your deck and what you want to do.
Yeah. It's just kind of nasty. It just counters like decks by itself randomly. Like, what if you're playing Hero Power Druid? You actually just lose the game.
Don't
You never
mention
deal
that.
damage.
Stop it, Neji.
Like, this would have countered Ping Mage. You try and ping them down. Nope. Unlucky.
Yeah,
Um,
Noodle Swoop has a good comment too about like how this works with some of your self-damage things that were, a significant drawback in the previous expansion.
mm,
That now you just
they
neutralize
changed
their
it.
effect.
They changed how those cards all work. Any card that does damage to your hero goes through the Divine Shield and doesn't break
No, no,
it.
no. Any card that wait, they did? I thought it was just any card that
That was for
cost
immune.
mana or cost health instead of mana will still hurt you. And
Mm,
like you'd keep your Divine Shield up if you played like the 6 mana one that makes your next Paladin card cost health instead of mana. But like if it's damaging yourself, you just lose your Divine Shield, right?
maybe. Yeah, that might be right. I know the 6 mana one definitely doesn't work. You lose health.
Yeah, it's not gonna
That's
work
fair.
that way.
Yeah.
That'd be mega broken.
Yeah, no. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, this card's really, really good. It's just so annoying. I can't believe I have to deal with this card for 2 years. Go next.
I'll just give it a 4.
Yeah, I'll give it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 5. I hate it here.
All right. Next, we have Jitterbug, a 4 mana 4/3 beast with Divine Shield. And after a friendly character loses Divine Shield, draw a card. This one I think is pretty interesting. I think this is honestly solid. I'm gonna give it a 4. Maybe it's only like a 3, but I like it a lot. It has Divine Shield on itself, so if you play this, then it loses its own Divine Shield. You draw a single card, so it seems pretty likely you get at least one card draw off of it. And if you're doing this with something like the Spotlight, right, where you like take the Divine Shield from it, summon a 5/5, you're still gonna get that the draw effect. I don't know. I like it a lot. Plus, I like the beast tag on it because I think some sort of like Divine Shield and Menagerie kind of stuff could be really great here in Paladin. And draw with that seems fantastic.
This card looks sweet. This card looks really, really good. I'm giving this one a 4 also. I think almost every Paladin deck is going to want to try to run this card if they can. And I'm personally really looking forward to summoning this off of the Hunter weapon that summons a random beast with Death Rattle. It's going to be that one when I cast like 3 spells and it'll be a random 4 and this is going to draw me a card too. Hell yeah. But I mean for Paladin obviously it's very strong. Um, you can even use this with like a multi Divine Shield board that's already up. Drop this, take your trades that you may have wanted to take anyway to utilize the Divine Shield and just draw a bunch of cards. Like a lot of applications, really good.
Okay, Ron, have you thought about this? I don't know if you mentioned it. Maybe you did. The hunter weapon, the 2-cost beast, you can get Groovy Cat to get a 3 damage 0 power.
Oh my god, I didn't think about that. That's
I just
amazing.
thought about that.
Oh my god.
Yes, it's back. Yeah, this card's great. I like it. Like, I'm happy this one says character instead of minion. I don't know why the other one doesn't. Like, it's much more
Yeah.
interesting that your hero also can lose Divine Shield. So, I'm happy with it. I like it. I think it's a 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. I think this card's really good, and it's just gonna play a part in a lot of those decks.
All right. Moving on, we have another harmonic spell. We have Harmonic Disco. It's a 5-mana holy spell. Discover a 5-cost minion, summon it with +1/+1, and then it swaps each turn. So then the dissonant side is discover a 1-cost minion, summon it with +5/+5. This one is really, really interesting. I am not sure exactly how I feel about it. I mean, just kind of discovering something maybe is great. I put it as a 2 because I don't know if like every Paladin deck wants to play this. But the fact that it's a holy spell seems great, right? It can help you like refresh that Divine Shield. If you discover a minion that has Divine Shield or something, you get those extra stats. The fact that it is a discover and it just doesn't like give you a random thing makes it better as well. But I'm not really sure how to evaluate this one yet. I like it, but I'm not sure how much.
I might be running this only because of Starlight Groove, honestly, just to have as many holy spells as possible to get more divine shields. So I don't know if this is like a 2 or a 3 for me. I think I'm gonna give it a 3, just because it's not too bad to find like either or. Either it's a 1-mana minion that you buff a lot, so it's probably like 6+ in stats, or it's a 5-cost with buffs, which is probably like a 6+ in stats. Maybe you can. I mean, there's going to be some outcomes that are really good. There's going to be some options that look kind of bad. So borderline 2, but I'll call it a 3 because it's a holy spell and refreshes our divine shield on our hero.
Yeah, I don't think the card is super good. I think maybe we're trying to do. We haven't really talked about it, but the last 3 cards are all like a big Paladin package, and maybe you just need cards to fill the deck. I don't know. I think it's a 2. I think the card's bad, but maybe we need to play it.
Yeah, it could be. Well, let's continue moving on. Or, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm giving it 2. I did a count of all the 5-cost minions, and if there was like one of those things where you were like consistently summoning the 5-drop ones that you want always with this, I probably would have given it higher. And also, it's a harmonic thing, so I don't really like it. There's like 18 5-drop minions, so there's actually a decent amount of them. So I'm gonna give it 2.
Okay. Seems like we're all
Right
kind
on.
of in agreement there. All right. Well, let's talk about that more like potential big stuff that Neji was mentioning, and we have Noodle in chat mentioning as well. We have Kangor, Dancing King, the legendary minion here, 5-mana, 3/3, lifesteal, and Death Rattle. Swap this with a minion from your hand and give it lifesteal. So it gives the minion that it's swapping with lifesteal, and then this gets put back into your hand. So then you could play it again and keep the Death Rattle kind of chaining and going, and this kind of never actually really dies. It just goes back to your hand. I don't know. I don't think that I really like this one very much. I gave it a 2. I don't really like the stats on it. Like, I like the lifesteal, and the Death Rattle chaining stuff is cool, but the stats are weird, and do you get to pick what you're swapping? I don't know. Is it a random? Just swap
Yeah, it'd
this
be
with
random.
something random? Yeah,
Yeah,
that feels so weird. I don't know.
got some random big pally support here at the end.
Yeah, I'll call that a 2 also because I don't believe in Big Pally. Big Pally means that you're not running more minions in your deck by default, which means Disco Maul, one of our best cards, is not that good for your deck, and I don't like doing that. So I think it's fringe.
Yeah, I think the package is kind of bad. Obviously, the payoff is cool, but I'm not getting baited by Big Paladin. Never have, never will.
Yeah.
I love the art type, and I'll play it for like one time, and then realize it's bad and stop because and then cry in the corner for a little bit. I'm giving it a 2.
I'm giving it
definitely
a
looks
1
cool.
for the culture.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Go on to the next one then. Lead Dancer. It's a 6-mana 4/2 Death Rattle. Summon a minion from your deck with less attack than this minion. Okay, so I am also not super thrilled on this card. It's another 2 for me. It feels fringy. Maybe again, I don't even know if you want to play this in like a big minion deck, because generally the minions that you would have at like a higher end would be more attack than this minion, unless you're somehow buffing it in your hand and then, you know, playing it, and or you're buffing it on board and then killing it off. I don't know. It just feels super wonky, and maybe as a battle cry it could be kind of interesting, but as a death rattle it feels weird to me. And I don't really know how I want this.
You probably can't even talk about this card without the next card that's coming, because it's it's the complete like comparison to what Warlock used to do with like Q Block back in the day, where they had the 6-mana like 2/2 death rattle that pulled the 9-mana mega annoying stats. So
Okay,
that's like
that's
what
fair.
it's for.
That's fair. All right, well I'll just
I still
read
agree that it's a 2 though. I think the whole package is not very good.
Yeah. Well, let's.
But like that's a 2. This is maybe a 3 because you could possibly run
it's
this
super
like a
annoying.
standalone. But the other
Yeah.
one, yeah, like Lead Dancer is probably a 1 without a Noyo Troop.
Yeah, so let's read Anoyo Troop here then. It's a 9-mana, 3 attack, 6 health mech with Taunt and Divine Shield. And Death Rattle, summon 3 1/2 mechs with Taunt and Divine Shield. So yes, this has less attack because it's only got 3 instead of the 4 like Lead Dancer. But I mean, maybe you can do something. But yeah, it all feels very fringy and just kind of awkward and slow still.
I think a lot of people are making the comparison to the Warlock package that there was back in the day, and I think for good reason. It's kind of very similar, but I think one people think are forgetting is that that whole package was good because of the sacrificial card, right? Like you could just do it immediately, and this you kind of have to wait for it to happen too, and it's more expensive. So like,
Yeah, and Warlock had a weapon that pulled this
Warlock
out,
had a weapon
right?
that summoned it also.
Paladin
Yeah,
does
also had
too.
Doomguard, which like ended games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also this was a good deck like a million years ago. And like this, yeah, you can't sack back this, you can't cube it. There's actually just nothing. You make your big dude, they kill the big dude. You're like, oh, I'm out of things. Unlucky. Guess I lost.
I hope this thing has like a really deep hello. Like I hope it's just like instead of squeaky, it's just very like Iron Giant-y.
That would be great.
I mean-
I guess like for this card and maybe kind of the combo, I think one thing that this has over the Void Lords is the Divine Shields. Like the Divine Shields are gonna be so awkward and so annoying. I'm thinking of Kazakhstan, right? And that stupid card that like all of my opponents got of putting out a Noyos onto the board, and they always had Divine Shield, and I hated it. And like that's kind of what I'm thinking here, but I don't know. I mean, that was also like extra payoff, right? There was some really powerful cards with that. I don't know if this is quite to that same level of filling your whole board with Anoyos, but it might feel very similar if there is something that you can do with this and the Divine Shields or doing some sort of buffs, but I don't know if it's like that good on its own.
Can't wait to run into the random psycho on ladder who has Starfish in his deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the tradable silence card.
You know what?
I think Lead Dancer is terrible, and I think Anara Troop you could actually maybe put in a deck, and I will give it a 2. But Lead Dancer is bad. I'm giving it 1.
I went 2 and 3 for the same reasoning that you went 1 and 2 on those. Although it's going to make me really happy for a similar reason as like the Druid buff card, right? When someone plays a Noyo Troop and I say, found you,
Yeah. I gave
Ron's
I,
just demon hunting.
yeah, I gave both Lead Dancer and the Annoyo 2s.
But the other Paladin cards prior to those 4 that we just looked at, nutty. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, if they
Yeah.
had given them a nutty early game package and a nutty big package, it's just like, all right, Paladin, you just here you are.
I mean, that's fine. Okay with that. Could play that. It'll be okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We just had Cariel, but it's fine. We just move past that.